Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sayyidi.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sayyidi, you spoke to me in my native language through the TV a few times. How does that work, and will that happen again?
Why would it not happen again? The world of light and the world of isharat and telepathy is a energy. We said that when you type there's an intention. It's a very powerful, I think physics now has scientists that are proving this, that you produce an energy when you have an intention. This energy comes and begins to provide a motor function for the intention to be fulfilled, right? Because there's got to be a signal that came from your heart to your brain to your fingers, and you began to type. That intention Allah draws our attention is most powerful. Kullu amalun binniyat. That every amal Allah is going to not look at the amal, He's going to go to the source of power. Which, what was your intention? We said many people may be praying, but because the police are outside waiting for them, so they're sitting in the masjid praying. But that's not the intention, was to worship. So amals that have intention, then Allah will govern the intention. But it draws us to, there's an immense power. So when somebody is making an intention and writes an email, well already the energy of what they were trying to do went into that device, went through that electric channel, and by the time you opened it, regardless of what they wrote, if you're sensitive to energy, you already felt the theme of what's now coming. They're saying something but the energy was something completely different. So it means then when we train ourselves with energy, then you're making a connection, and this concept of telepathy is an intention that the Shaykh is teaching through an energy, and you're picking up the vibration of energy, and it comes to you as an energy and your consciousness is translating it into your language. Because the energy is one, the energy is singularity. There's no Spanish energy and Arabic energy, it's just a qudra. When the qudra and the communication is going out through that signal, it's going out on a universal line. By the time it comes to your brain will translate it in the language that's appropriate for you. But it came as a qudra and an energy. So telepathy is based on controlling of energy. So when they make the madad and train in how to making the madad, they're connecting with the energy of the shaykhs. And as a result of connecting is that first you're asking to be dressed by this energy, as your clearance begins to rise and more trustworthy, your communication becomes two-way in that energy field. That the energy they send to you comes, your body begins to translate it in the process of how you think. If you think in Arabic, it'll come to you as if you spoke Arabic. You think in Urdu, he'll come to you speaking in Urdu. If you think in English, based on how you think, the inspiration will come, be translated by your faculty of your heart and brain, and begin to translate it according to the language that you understand. So this is a reality in what people think of telepathy. It's the movement of energy. So the one whom Allah begin to dress in subtle energy fields, what they find now with scientists, they make an artificial device of energy and they put it onto flowers and plants. And they found that the plants are communicating, they're putting out a vibration and a sound. The tree has a sound, it's communicating. Yeah, so it means then if your energy is fine-tuned, then what happens? You can go into the forest, and if they need to they can meditate and contemplate, and they begin to pick up the energy field of Allah's creation. What the tree is telling to them, what the plant is talking to them. And this was the traditional way of tib and nubuwah. prophetic medicine is that every herb and every flower would describe to the servant of Allah what its benefit is, what its healing is and what its purpose is. But as we relied more on technology and less on the heart, we stopped fine-tuning the heart. But this is a tremendous power. The one who begins to train in energy, train in light, Allah opens His entire kingdom for them. And that kingdom has many, many realities based on communication with animals, communication. How you think Sayyidina Sulaiman was communicating with the ants and birds and all the creatures? He wasn't speaking in a bird language to them. It's the Prophet of Allah, means merely he would communicate through his heart. And he could hear all the communication channels, and they come in on a digital channel, not wave channels anymore, because you can have infinite amount of channels on a digital channel. Every creature can be heard and each one separate and not overlapping. So how he heard all of them and knew the hoop he was missing, because it must have been tens of thousands of birds lined up, not one. He looked at the whole radif and the rows, said, where's that one? He's missing. And then we said, described before, his armies are moving, thousands. He said, thousands and hundreds of thousands of soldiers Sayyidina Sulaiman had, immense, flying on carpets and immense creatures. And he can hear the ant talking to all the other ants and stop the entire army just to hear them. So Allah is saying, this is Qur'an. With what power Sayyidina Sulaiman had this is a qudra and energy. And it's the energy that could hear and communicate back with the ants, in which he got the isharat from the commander that go into your homes, the armies are moving. So Allah's great. When we say Allahu Akbar, we can't imagine what that Akbar is. We limit ourselves to a very limited life of physicality, and it's a shame. That's the people on the prison interpreting shadows. Their whole life is just looking at a wall and trying to interpret shadows, and they really truly never lived. When Allah opened the heavenly kingdom and this world of light and energy, its immensity is something that cannot be understood nor can it be limited. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salaamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen bi hurmati Muhammad al Mustafa wa bi siri Surat al Fatiha.
As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. Inshallah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below, the programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans: Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments, and please share the stream. Every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.